Good evening.
Motto, guys, this is going to be in the press.
License plate ending in 4865. Thank you.
今天在25学区召开这个社区会议哦，那个新的教育局长会到场，那现场呢会提供那个中文的翻译机服务。如果你用中文的翻译机过来开会哦，不要担心有语言的问题，他们会给你提供这个翻译机，像中文啊，其他语言都可以。然后今天我们将要看到这个新上任的教育局局长。25学区的华人相当多哈，我们看到台上基本上有2/3是华人啊，华人学生、华人家长、华人职员。
And our student member Shirley J. At this time, I would like to take a moment to introduce District 25 Superintendent Michael D'Antona and allow him to say a few words.
Good evening, District 25. How are we doing tonight? So, very good to see all of you here to join us in company for our Chancellor's Town Hall here in District 25. First and foremost, I need to give a tremendous shout out to Principal Young here at JHS 185. In addition to Principal Young, I just want everyone here in the community to know that he has upwards of 40 staff members that volunteered to be here tonight, along with dozens of students that came here to make sure that tonight was a success. So thank you so much to all of our staff members that are here. I truly appreciate your presence to make sure that we have a really successful evening tonight. Big shout out to all of our students, from our cheerleaders, to our choir, to our band, to our orchestra. You guys did an amazing job. It was a terrific way to start off such an amazing event. As we're waiting to begin tonight, there's just a few things that I want to take advantage of this opportunity to speak to you about. So anytime I'm in the company of our parents, I always like to talk a little bit about what we're trying to get accomplished as a district community. So as a community, we've established a series of goals aligned.
Good evening, everyone. I am so sorry for being late. I had to make a stop in the Bronx, and before that in Manhattan, and just making my tours all around the city. So thank you so much for being patient. But it is really just amazing to be here in this incredible, diverse district with all the great work that's happening. And I want to thank our superintendent, Dr. Michael D'Antona, for all of his work. Nice round of applause for him. Absolutely. So again, honored to be here all with you tonight, and I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time in this district. We also have our team with us tonight. So you have a bunch of our deputy chancellors and chiefs and all the people who help us to keep things moving over at Central. So round of applause for them. So before we begin the meeting, I want to highlight that we are entering CC election season, and it's super important because this work cannot be done alone. You know, in the past, we have really charged face with talking about the importance of our CECs and why we should really pay attention to these elections, not only when hoping that you run, but also the importance of the work that CECs CCCs do day in and day out, and how they work in close partnership with our superintendents. And this particular one is a great example of what happens when great collaboration is in place. And so we are really charging everyone with talking about the work that CECs do and how important it is, from our principals to our superintendents to our parent coordinators to our central staff to our family leaders, everyone. So please, 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 just really understanding how important this is. This is your opportunity. This is an important structure for us to have real collaboration with our superintendent and central leaders to get work done. From curriculum implementation to assessment to topics around safety and wellness. These structures exist for that purpose, and so I just really want to encourage everyone to take that seriously, and thank you for your continued participation. I want to share a little bit about myself, since I'm new to this. I made 1 month on Friday. It's been quite the month. Thank you. So I'm not quite yet a toddler, but I'm inching my way there. And so when I was lucky enough to be announced by Mayor Adams and really selected by both him and former Chancellor David Banks to take on this role, one of the things that I was clear about is making sure that we do not turn up a system in the middle of a school year. That is so important to me. I was a teacher, I was an assistant principal, I was a principal, deputy superintendent, and acting superintendent, and I've lived through quite a few transitions. And it is not a good feeling when you are off to a good start and all of a sudden someone comes and tells you, hold on a second, now you need to change your priorities because we're going to shift to a whole other set of agenda items. That is not good for children, that is not good for families, it is not good for school communities. And so the message that I said on the day of my announcement stands today, and it will continue during my time as Chancellor. We are going to continue the great work that started with this administration, because who doesn't want kids to learn how to read? Who doesn't want kids to learn how to do math? Who doesn't want access to great careers after graduation? These are things that any educator would want for their children. And so please know that you have a continued partner in me and all the amazing work that has started. And this district has done incredible work with New York City Leads. And so we're so proud to continue that work. What I will say is that there are some focus areas that always need more attention, and the work will never stop in the three areas that I've outlined, which I call my commitments. And the reason I was very intentional around the word commitment is because I don't want to use edge-speak or priorities or initiatives. These are not priorities, these are not initiatives. These are just promises, quite simply, that I'm making to all of you, to our New York City families and students, as the mother of a New York City student myself, and as someone who would consider herself a forever teacher. So these three commitments are as follows. The first one is an overall sense of safety and wellness for our children, both physical and emotional safety. Our children can have the best access to instruction, the best access to programs, but if they do not feel safe and loved when they are coming into these school communities, they are not going to perform at the optimal levels. It's just not going to happen. So that's commitment number one. Commitment number two is real job-embedded support, training, and professional learning for our teachers. And we've seen a lot of that start with New York City Reads, real coaching. How do you unpack a curriculum, right? It's not just taking it out of a box and saying, okay, now go teach, here's the pacing guide. We know that teachers need support with lesson plans. We know teachers need support with implementation. We know teachers need support with Tier 2 and Tier 3 modifications. Is everything perfect? Nope. Are we off to a perfect start with New York City Reads or with anything else? No, we're not. Nothing is perfect, especially in a system this size. But what we do know is when we prioritize teacher support, we have a place to turn to. We have a focus area to say, you know what, if we're really centering teacher practice, We need to make sure that we are partnering with our labor leaders. I'm so happy to see we have some of our amazing coaches here, and we have our Vice President, Mary Vaccaro, here. Big round of applause for them. But this work cannot be done without them. And so this is not about fighting and arguing with other partners, with our labor leaders in particular. This is about coming together and identifying the best practices and the great work that teachers and coaches are currently doing, and making sure that we are sharing that across the city in a systematic way so that our teachers can get access to the very best training that exists here in New York City Public Schools. The third commitment is one that is very, very important to me. They are all important to me, but this one I think resonates with me most because I've experienced it myself. When I was a teacher, I was not a mother. And when I was a principal, I was the mother of an infant toddler. As a matter of fact, my right hand for many years, my assistant principal, Mimi Hernandez, is here with us tonight, so it's great to see you. Yay! And it wasn't until I got to Central and in the district that I became the mother of a school-age child.